if they never got caught, would they have ever stopped? Today we're talking all about why it seems cheaters only seem to care after they got caught. Welcome to the Amee and D podcast. I'm your host, Amee Widders. This is my co-host and husband, D. Widders. We drop videos every Monday and Thursday on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Are you ready to dive into this episode?
No, I'm scared.
Why?
I don't know.
I got some statistics for you.
Ooh, I love those.
All right, let's get into it. So, approximately 20% of men and 13% of women reported having sex with someone other than their spouse while married. Sheesh.
So 1 out of 5? Dang.
Yeah, you're the math man. Love you some math.
Rain man.
And about 34% of men and 24% of women have committed infidelity at some point in their lives. Dang. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah, that's another like 1 out of 4.
All right, so
2
we're
out
going to
of
go
3.
over 3 key arguments, I guess, and the counterpoints to those arguments. And then obviously we'll get your takeaways and your,
How exciting.
experience as a former cheater and, what you can give perspective on to these people.
Awesome. Let's have fun.
Awesome. Okay. Number 1, they didn't confess on their own. Many assume that if the cheater truly felt remorse, they would have confessed instead of waiting to be exposed. I wonder how many people, like what the percentage roughly is of people that didn't get caught and decided to be like, man, I got to tell them.
Well, I mean,
Or how many people are living with that guilt and shame of they were cheating and like their spouse has no clue.
it's probably pretty high. I mean, if you just look at all the crimes that I've committed and gotten caught for.
Cotton?
Caught for.
Cotton?
I got caught for. Kitten.
You got caught for?
Yeah, I mean, how many criminals have committed crimes that they haven't been caught for? How many lies have you told or somebody told that nobody ever found out about?
Well, in my experience with you, you got caught and just kept denying it and kept doing whatever you wanted to do. And really, like we talked about in the last episode, had no real major consequences for your actions. It wasn't until I told you, okay, you know what, I can't do this anymore, that it was like, oh, shoot, like she for real this time. Like, I better turn my life around. I better surrender it to the Lord.
Yeah, and then you made me realize by your actions that I did have a woman that was worth not being with other women for, which I think a lot of dudes are probably scared. Like, how do I know this is the right one? It's like the right one is the one that you give 100% to and expect nothing back from. That's the right one. You keep giving 25% to this one and 10% to this one, then you're never going to figure that out.
So the counterpoint would be fear and shame can be powerful motivators for secrecy. Some cheaters are deeply ashamed of what they've done, but they lack the courage to confess,
It's literally like
fearing
a regular
the pain it
it's
will
like
cause.
it's literally like a regular crime. People don't turn themselves in after every crime they commit. It's the same thing. People are ashamed of the things they've done, or they don't want to get disciplined or in trouble for the things they've done.
Did you go through periods where like you didn't care and then there were times where you did, or you kind of always felt guilty afterwards but obviously couldn't confess it?
I always felt guilty afterwards. I literally compare it to watching pornography, and then afterwards you're like, why did I do that? It's the same exact thing.
I'm disgusting.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
most people have a good moral compass. What's so funny?
Compass.
Yeah, I think most people know when they're doing the wrong thing. The only difference is the more times you do the wrong thing, the easier
Yeah.
it will be to do the wrong thing. So, I don't know. How do you feel?
don't know.
How do you feel?
I'm not a cheater, so I can't say.
But how do you feel about do you think I felt bad when I did that stuff?
Not every time, no. Honestly, no, I didn't think that you ever felt bad about it because every time I confronted you, you would gaslight me and manipulate me and make me feel crazy to the point where sometimes I would honestly feel bad for even confronting you about it. Like, dang, I can't believe I did that, when it really shouldn't have been like that at all. Like, nah, this fool is cheating on you and now he's making you feel like crap. for cheating on you.
Which is kind of crazy because when dudes are like good to their women, the women like kind of treat them like crap. But when the dudes treat a woman like crap, then the woman is like second guessing herself. Like, oh no, maybe he is really just pissed off at me because I suck. It's like, no, he sucks. That's why he's treating you like that.
You question every single thing when you think or know that the person that you're with is cheating on you. Everything. Where are they going? What are they doing? What is the truth? What is a lie? Why am I not good enough? What can I do better? What does he not like about me? Why is he going elsewhere? It's you think about, you ruminate on everything. You
What's
doubt,
ruminate mean?
like thinking about it over, right?
Over.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Intrusive thoughts, all that. You just question everything. It sucks.
When did that stop for you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a couple years after you started taking accountability for everything.
So that's the first step, is taking ownership for your actions.
The first step of what?
The first step of you not having to ruminate, or
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about this episode. We're
it's just a
talking about
curious question I had.
uh
Like, I want to know when you stopped. I'm sure other
I don't
people.
have like a set date, like it was January 10th, 2016. I don't have that for you.
But
Just the same way with the forgiveness thing. It was February 16th. I don't have an exact day of when that stopped happening. I could say roughly it took me a I would say roughly it took me 3 years to heal. And I do that because it's like you never 100% heal. You're going to have to expect, at some point you're going to have a trigger or something that, reminds you. Is it as often? No, not at all. But it would be unrealistic to think that like I'm never going to remember it or it's never going to hurt me anymore. That would just be unrealistic. So I say heal kind of like loosely.
makes sense. Yeah, I think that if the person doesn't take ownership and they're apologizing, what I say the other day, it's just like a fart. It's just hot air coming out of somewhere
Hot
stinky,
hair.
stinky hot air coming out your mouth, bruh. It's like if you're apologizing without taking ownership, then why even waste your
Yeah, there's
apology?
no point.
Yeah,
It's a waste of
save
time.
your fart.
And it's going to hinder the person that got cheated on's healing and the healing of your potential relationship together after the fact.
Yeah, how do we get people to realize that the first thing they need to do is admit the truth and take ownership for what they did? Because people don't have a hard time of doing the wrong thing and lying about it and denying everything. Like, how do we get people to see like that is how you're going to get through this? If you're not going to do that, then
I
give
feel
up.
like we drive that point home a lot. I mean, you can, what's that saying? You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Mm.
Like we can tell people as many times, hey, this is how you want to, this is how we healed. This is how you should do it. But if they don't do it, they ain't gonna know. You know what I mean? They have to have a want to actually fix and heal the relationship.
I think a lot of people don't even realize what they need either. It's like, this is what you need. This is what is best for you.
And I think the people that have got cheated on need to realize that if that person isn't taking accountability and like not seeing where they're wrong in this, I think it is okay for you to separate for a time. Maybe forever, maybe not, but you have to choose at what point you start healing yourself and getting closer to the Lord, and then, whatever God's plan for you after that. I mean, not every relationship is going to have a restoration, but you kind of have to decide at what point you're done taking the abuse. Like if there's no accountability whatsoever and that person is just continuously doing this and expecting you to just stick around, I think you got to get with God and just and ask him to guide your next steps. Like, okay, God, do you want me to stay here, or do I need to leave and heal a little bit within me first, and then maybe there's that potential for restoration somewhere down the line.
Yeah. What was the statistic I looked up this morning where it was like 50% of marriages don't last, and then it was like 60 something percent of second marriages don't last, and then 73% of third marriages don't last. So it's like if you divorce or separate or go your separate ways, then your chances for the second or third relationship are just going to go down. So it's like if you can try everything and try to get through that pain and build on a completely new foundation, it will be better because more than likely you're not going to be alone when you leave.
And I think most people would say that love is a feeling where it's actually a choice. You choose to love somebody. I mean, even married, I love you. You're my husband. But yeah, there's going to be days where you get on my nerves and I have to choose love over, violence. I'm sure you feel like
You
that too
can't
some
whoop me,
days.
dog.
I'm sure you feel that
You
way
can't
some,
whoop me, dog.
like you wake up some days.
You can't whoop me. Admit it.
I know I can't whoop you.
All right, just
Nobody's
making
saying
sure.
that,
I feel like
Daniel.
you think you could.
I put up a good fight. Come on, dog. I
I'll
can't
give
have.
you a noogie. I'll give you one of these little on your head. I'll give you a wedgie.
I believe that love is a choice. And I think part of the problem in today's society and why relationships don't last is because people go off of feeling. Oh, well, they don't make me feel good anymore. Well, you know what? Marriage and love is about serving somebody else. It really ain't about you.
And feelings aren't real. They're temporary. Love,
It is a choice.
unconditional love, a choice you make is what lasts forever. Choices last forever, right?
Choices.
Choose. You decide. We always talk about decide. It means to cut off every other option. I'm deciding this is what I'm going to do.
People don't do that anymore. They want, easy fix, next best thing, or
No, they're
easy
going to do
access.
that. They're going to, some people are going to stumble across this and they're going to freaking not be like that.
I pray to God that is true.
And then their families are going to get saved.
Listen, if God could take us up out of that nasty mud that we was in, our relationship, drag us out and put us back together like this, there is hope for anybody.
Mud. Is that why you wore brown?
No, it's because I'm your little brownie.
Mud and blood. Because I'm wearing red.
Anyway, let's go to point 2. Their behavior changes suddenly after exposure. People see cheaters making grand gestures, showing remorse, and suddenly wanting to fix the relationship only after being caught. This can seem performative rather than genuine. Yeah, I would beg to say that that's true.
What's an example of something I did that was a grand gesture to make you feel like?
You'd buy me stuff. You'd buy me stuff. You'd take me on dates. You'd like let me post you on social media one time or
Let
something.
me?
Yeah, like
What a joke.
yeah. But there were so many times that I caught you and you would deny it, but then like you change for a little bit and then be right back at it when we get in a fight or something like that. Man, I've caught you like with so much stuff.
But what's like a grand gesture that I did to like?
What one are you thinking of that you want me to say since you keep bringing it up?
I thought a crazy one was sending a bunch of dozens of roses to the strip club.
Oh, but that was a joke. We've talked about that before.
I know,
You
but
sent 10 dozen to my house, 10 dozen to the club, and then when me and you split up, you did the same thing for her, and her silly behind was posting it on Instagram like, "Girl, everybody that knows you, that works with you up in the club literally knows that that man did the same thing first for his woman. She left him and now he is doing it for you. Like, that is whack. Why are you proud of this?" Like, oh my gosh, like, girl, you look silly, and so does he. Frankly, y'all both look just ridiculous.
which goes to show you if you're not doing the wrong thing.
I remember looking
Why
at
you
that
always
and
cut me off,
laughing
dog, when I'm trying to
my
make a point?
behind off.
What if I forget my point?
All right, sorry.
It just goes to show you that if you're doing the right thing, you don't have to do these grand gestures because you're doing little things every day to make the other person
Well,
see
you
that
should
you
be
love them.
doing those things just because you love a person, not because you have to try to fix,
Nobody needs to
easy
send
fix it.
Nobody needs to send 20 dozen roses to anybody to show them that they love them. That is crazy.
I wasn't impressed
Exactly.
at all.
No.
She was. So good for, good for her. Like, kind of, shows how insecure both of you guys are, but whatever.
But I'm saying, like, you You don't got to do all that. You can't buy love.
It made me angry. And then
Exactly.
I got angry over and over and over and over again because I'm trying to work and forget about it. And I gotta, oh, look at all these beautiful roses. Oh my gosh. And there's, the host next to me. Oh yeah, her boyfriend sent him to her. And I'm like, oh yeah, and he cheated on me with another girl here. Are they beautiful still? Are they still beautiful roses? Oh, I was so angry.
And then the dude that was getting a lap dance was probably like, oh, shoot, I'm cheating on my wife right now with this girl.
Who knows, man?
What a mess.
Who knows? Um, okay, so the counterpoint is sometimes it takes a life-altering moment to wake someone up. Getting caught can force a person to see the gravity of their actions, which may lead to real transformation. Just because the change happens after exposure doesn't mean it isn't authentic. That could be true, but I find it hard to believe that you get caught one time cheating and then all of a sudden, like, you change. I just don't, I don't think, I think that's a very rare occurrence. It'll never happen again. And then it really doesn't. I think it takes, well, I guess we'll get into that in the third point. So never mind. But basically, there were multiple times that I caught you and you would find some way to like finagle out of it and make me think that I was crazy. Like, I found Viagra in your
Ooh, this is a good story.
center console, and then like a new phone that got activated. And every time I'm
How'd I
like,
try
what?
to weasel out of that one?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
I said, those are for my boss. I was selling them.
selling these. And like, oh, I don't know what that is. I think they just sent me an offer in the mail. Just like stupid lies.
But that just goes to show you, back to the point I made earlier, that if there's no real consequences to your actions, you're probably going to keep committing those same crimes.
Yeah.
It's just like the punishment needs to be way worse than the crime, or they're going to keep committing the crime.
Yeah. There would be times I would know you were going to cheat and like pray about it and then like ask God to stop it. And the one time he actually did.
Man, that was crazy. I got a flat tire and then the car fell, almost broke my arm. That's funny.
Yeah, man, because that was a moment where I was like, dang, man, like God's got my back. That was like an instant prayer that got answered. Like, come on, God, me and you both know that this dude is just doing wrong. Like, he's doing me dirty, man. I need you to just stop him from doing it. And then it was like 15 minutes after I prayed that prayer and you called me and was like, oh, I think you're going to be late to work. I got a flat tire. I was like, oh, yeah? Really? You got a flat? Where were you going? What were you doing? Who are you going to see?
I think
what was you going to do?
I think
and you were like so mad.
I think it goes back to the point where it's like you found Viagra in my car. It's like I didn't need that for, well, I guess it's getting a little too personal here, but like I needed that to.
But wouldn't
to
that
cheat.
wouldn't that have proved to you like if you need those to cheat, like dog, what are you doing?
Yeah, now.
Like I don't even understand that.
Now it does, but then it was more like
like my girl is the best and makes me that is the most intimate and close I've ever felt with another woman, and I got to take these pills to be with these other girls. How does that make sense in your brain?
That's how crazy I was and how jacked up I was. Or it's like, okay, this is what you need to do to become a man, to get all these women and have this power and get this money and do all this stuff, when it's like, no, you're actually
you was just
weak.
running from love, bro. Like
Yeah.
all the signs was pointing to me just being everything you needed.
I know.
And you was just like, God was just showing you.
I think about that all the time.
You realize the prize you have, and you just over here like,
Are you gonna let
it's
me
not really
talk?
love. It's not really love.
Are you gonna let me
Are you gonna let me talk?
All you do is talk. You don't let me get none of my points out, and then I forget them.
Some people actually laugh at me interrupting you. It's like half and half.
It's so funny. And then I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, what are you supposed to say? Because I'm interrupting you?
I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Mike, but let me finish my point, and then you can give me your feedback.
What'd the interrupting cow say?
Moo.
Moo. That's a good dad joke. Thanks for ruining my point, Dad. You ruined my joke, ruined my point.
So the point we were driving home was God was proving to you all these things about how, like, I'm the girl. You really love me. I really love you.
All right. I got it. Please don't interrupt me. I am so lucky that you didn't leave, or that you stuck stuck it out for me because now I get to become the man that I was supposed to become. Because remember that thing we were talking about this morning where most women, when they leave a relationship, they get over it. Most men, when they leave a relationship, if it's that true love, they never get over. They regret it forever. So like I think about that every day. That I was literally this close to being in regret for the rest of my life.
Could you imagine being without me in your
No,
life?
hell no,
Could you imagine?
no.
Your life would be so miserable.
I know.
I know.
Thank you for not leaving me.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. All right, let's get into the last point.
Also, these stories are crazy. So if anybody hears this, like, and they had doubt that their relationship couldn't make it through it, then don't have doubt anymore because we.
Yeah, bro, I literally gave this man my blessing to go out on a date with another girl because he was like, I think this is really going to make me happy. We literally moved back here. We're staying at our friend's house. You talking to another girl, getting ready for another girl in the jacket that I bought you. And I'm over here like, is this really what you want? Is this really going to make you happy? Okay, then you have my blessing. I hope it works out.
You should have beat me up.
As you watching you drive away to go on a sushi date, I'm like, all right, well, this is real. This is my life.
Sorry.
Well, that's my life. Isn't that
Sorry.
like a TikTok
I'm
audio?
sorry.
I forgive you, bro, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. Us being together makes no sense. It makes no sense. I can't even talk. It's how I can't even. Just makes no sense that we made it work and that we're together. So if we could make it work,
God's the only thing that makes
yes. So if he could heal us, we fully believe that he could heal anybody else. But you gotta surrender it to him and put in the work.
All right. What's point number 3?
Okay, number 3 is they often try to minimize or justify their actions. Cheaters might make excuses like, it didn't mean anything, or I was in a bad place, making it seem like they only care about damage control rather than true accountability.
Are those two things I used to say? I feel like I wasn't that lame.
No, you would just be like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't believe you would think that I'd do that to you.
What a liar.
But realistically, all of that does stem from you being a little boy trapped in a grown man's body that never healed from the things that you were hurt from. And again, that drives the point home that it had nothing to do with me.
Say that again.
It had nothing to do with me.
It had nothing to do with them.
It has nothing to do with you. It doesn't.
Talk to them. Preach.
Well,
tell them about that. They need to know that.
We'll talk about that in the next episode because I'd like to do like a self-care after betrayal episode.
All right.
That could be helpful for people.
All right.
But it has nothing to do with you. Cheaters cheat because there is a bigger problem. There is a root cause. There is a trauma. There is something from their past that they have not healed from, and they lack the proper coping skills to deal with whatever it was that hurt them. So until they figure that out, they are going to continue to cheat or they're going to lash out in different ways. It stems from something bigger that has nothing to do with you.
So you don't think people are born cheaters?
No, I don't.
Why?
Do you?
I know, but I want to hear what your evidence is.
It's kind of just what I said. Hurt people hurt people.
For me, I don't think I was at all because I can remember breaking up with my first girlfriend and then her trying to get me to be back with her when I had another girlfriend already and me being like, no. And then that girl that I said no for cheated on me when my mom was dying in the hospital. And then after that, I was kind of like, yeah, bro, girls are trash. My mom left me when I was 6. This girl cheated on me while my mom was dying in the hospital. I'm just going to kind of do my thing. And then all the way up until I met you. And then when I met you, I was like, oh, damn, this is kind of scary. I really love this girl and she could leave at any second. And then you start to like justify, oh, this is why I'm doing it. When it's like,
yeah, you self-sabotage.
Yeah, and you ain't being a man. You're being a little boy, like you just said. And until you showed me that, no, I'm here, dog. Stop being an idiot. Could I fully understand what that was?
Well, and to that point, I think when you look at that person as that little boy or that little girl that is hurt and not healed, it is easier to give them grace because I mean in a sense it's like they don't know any better. Like they may not even realize at that point that that is what it is that they're hurting from and why they're doing what they're doing.
But that does not
No,
justify
it
your
doesn't
actions,
justify
and it
it.
does not give you a license to cheat, and it does not make it okay, and it does not none of that.
No, not at all.
And that goes for anything that somebody is doing to other people that is hurting other people. Just because your mom treated you like crap when you were a little kid, or just because your girlfriend cheated on you, does not mean that you can be an a-hole to other people and that you can cheat on your wife or your boyfriend. It means that you're going to hit a point as a grown up where you need to take ownership and
Yes.
accountability for your own actions. And when you hit that point, you better pray to God that you still get to have the people in your life that actually love
Yeah.
you and care about you, because I'm so blessed that that is what happened with me.
Well said.
All right. See you in the
So,
next. You
no, we're
done?
not
Oh, I
done.
thought, how many points you got?
I just need to do the
Oh,
counterpoint
my
for the
bad, dog.
third.
Go ahead.
Why are you rushing us off? People are enjoying the longer
I'm
episodes.
Russian. If you were Russian, what would your name be?
I'm Polish, so I don't know.
What would your name be if you were Russian?
No, we're not doing that. All right. So, counterpoint. While minimizing is wrong, it can stem from defensiveness rather than a lack of care. A cheater might struggle to fully face their own guilt and initially react by trying to soften the blow. Real change comes through a process of deep reflection, which takes time. So that's what we talked about. But also, I think that when you go into a relationship, it is so important for you to become friends first because you are going to need to have those communication skills with each other. Because I think if you have those communication communication skills with each other and you're able to talk to each other and be vulnerable from the jump, then it will be a lot easier to talk about the things that are bothering you or the things that you are struggling with to potentially prevent cheating or whatever other issues from the jump.
Explain it to me like I'm in third grade.
If you would have been more open with me about how much it hurt you that your mom left you and that you got cheated on, and if you would have told me from the jump the things that happened to you as a little kid, I don't think that the issues that we had would have been as bad or would have happened at all if we were able to work through them initially and I could have calmed your fears or reassured you from the beginning like you don't have to worry about that with me or hey you need to cry about it or vent to me about it and be vulnerable about it with me like you don't have to be strong for me. You can tell me how you really feel about those things that happened to you. I'm here for you.
Yeah. So if you are like getting into a relationship and watching this or listening to this, I think like that should be the first step. Before you have sex, before you do all these other things, you need to establish this foundation of truth and openness and honesty. And then both partners need to respect that and like not abuse that or not like hold that over the other person's head.
Well, yeah, if you can't be vulnerable with that person and share with them your biggest fears, the things that have hurt you from your past, but you can be intimate with them, that don't make sense to
Mm,
me. You
dang.
can give them your body, but you can't tell them about your fears, your hurts, your past pains.
You can
Mm-mm.
you can swap spit, but you can't share passcodes. Tell me how that you can exchange bodily fluids, but you can't let them look in your
I
DMs.
feel like mine was a little deeper. Yours is kind of gross.
It's true
It's
though.
true. Yes, it is true.
You're literally seeing that person butt naked, but you can't open up your phone and show them who's
Well,
texting you
and people don't realize you're sleeping with each other. That is creating a soul tie. So why wouldn't you be vulnerable with that person first in
because they
in your
got.
conversations and stuff instead of just jumping? That's why you ain't supposed to have sex before you're married either. It's like,
But that's what this society. That's what this whole everything is upside down, right?
mm-hmm.
Everything that the enemy has to offer us is upside down and it keeps you trapped in this cycle of nonsense. You have to break out of that. Literally try doing the opposite of what the world tells you to do and then see what your life looks like.
So let me ask you this question in closing. Do you think at some point you would have stopped on your own if you never would have got caught? Or do you think you'd still be in that club and potentially without your family?
If I would have never gotten caught, I think I would have ended up dead or in prison. Because the path that I was headed down, that is the only two options at the end of that road. And by the grace of God and by you, I'm here, sitting here today to be able to even talk about this.
So do you think then if a cheater never gets caught that they're never going to feel bad about it or ever stop?
I think you have to get caught to change. I don't think you have to get caught to feel bad about it.
Mm.
It's just like if somebody's a serial murderer and they never get caught, they're eventually going to die and nobody will ever find out.
Yeah, and I think what matters most is when they do get caught, is that remorse going to lead to actual like lasting change? Like is that going to lead to transformation? Are they going to hold themselves accountable and actually do what needs to be done to not cheat anymore?
I think two other options happen where it's like you might not get caught, that relationship might end, and then you might start a new relationship and then do the right things and never cheat again.
Mm,
Like that's what happened with my dad, like he's so faithful to my stepmom. They are so in
I
love,
know.
and like they both came from like rough pasts, but that doesn't mean they brought that into this relationship. So I think that you can get caught and fix your relationship you're in, or you can never get caught and start a completely new relationship where you don't do any of that stuff. Either way, there's hope for you. Yeah. See you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, every Monday, Thursday, we're dropping new episodes.
See you in the morning.
Leave us your comments on any other topics that you would like us to cover and share your thoughts, if you've experienced any of this stuff in the comments as well. And we will catch you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.